Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and there is more breaking news in the NBA. And how many times am I going to be saying that tonight? As there has been so much going on, Marcus Smart being traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in a 3-team deal that sends Porzingis to the Boston Celtics, Tyus Jones to the Washington Wizards, along with a couple other players. And then literally right in the middle as all this is going on, as all these reports about Marcus Smart going to the Memphis Grizzlies, all this stuff is going on. Woj is just dropping a bunch of tweets. And then right in the middle of it, when you're expecting more tweets from Woj, all of a sudden you see Khris Middleton has declined his $40 million player option and will become an unrestricted free agent. I don't know what to say here, because this is something I kind of expected to happen, but I really didn't know it was a $40 million player option. I knew, of course, Middleton had a player option. I knew that. But I didn't know it was a $40 million player option. You know, Middleton, he's a great player. He's a 3-time All-Star. He struggled this season. Only averaged, I think, 15 point something. I think he averaged like 15 or 17. Was it either 15? What did I see? Was it 15.8 points per game or 17 points per game? I think it was 17 points per game he averaged this season. He averaged 17 this season, but only played 24 minutes per game. You know, and then he started to get normal minute. He got his normal minutes back in the playoffs, started to do really well. He averaged 34 minutes per game in the playoffs and averaged 24 points per game in the 5-game series they had against Miami. So I know it's only 5 games, but he did average 24 points per game in that Miami first-round series. Did really well for Milwaukee in that series. He had a couple really, I think he had like one game with I think he might have had a couple games with 30 points, but I'm not too sure. But it was really good for them in the playoffs, even though it was even though they only played 5 games and lost to the 8th seed as the best team in the NBA loses to the 8th seed, which eventually that 8th seed, the Miami Heat, went to the NBA Finals. But even though he played really good in the playoffs, even though he's a 3-time All-Star, with the injuries that Middleton has suffered in the past, even though he was so good for them, for the Bucks in that championship run, I don't know if I see Khris Middleton earning $40 million a year. I really don't. I don't think an NBA team will pay Khris Middleton $40 million a year with how many injury problems he's had over the last couple of years. Now, this could be about more than making money. I know Khris Middleton has loved it with the Bucks, but maybe possibly Khris Middleton wants out of the Milwaukee Bucks and is willing to sign a cheaper contract to go into another team to lead the Milwaukee Bucks. That is the first thing that comes to my mind. Or Khris Middleton wants to test the market. Maybe Khris Middleton is okay with getting $33 to $37 million a year than $40 if he can test the market. Because I don't think Khris Middleton's going to get $40 million a year. I don't think any NBA team would pay him that, especially with the injuries he's had in the last couple years. He's been injury prone. So I don't really see a team paying him $40 million a year. I mean, if he hadn't been injury prone as he has in the last couple of years, maybe you're talking about a different story. But he has, so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in Khris Middleton in free agency. This makes me think more. It makes me think more. Okay, maybe Khris Middleton maybe wants to leave the Bucks. By him doing this, it makes me think, Khris Middleton might want to leave the Bucks. So, or he doesn't want to maybe he doesn't want to take the chance of going into that player option and potentially getting this could be another really solid option. He's by going into that player option, that $40 million player option, he is taking a chance of, what if next season let's just say, what if he would have opted in to that $40 million player option and he plays for the Bucks, stays with the Bucks. And then let's just say he potentially gets hurt. Then in the next free agency, whether the Bucks are re-signing him or another team's going to go after him, he's going to get less money. So I could understand him wanting to get the money, wanting to get free agency money now instead of next year. You're taking a chance of maybe getting hurt again next year, which could potentially cause you to get less money in free agency next offseason. That's just a potential another reason Khris Middleton would have opted out of this $40 million player option. But it's going to be interesting to see where Khris Middleton goes. Lots of teams are interested in him. My favorite team, the Houston Rockets, are. Reportedly, the Dallas Mavericks are as well. There's a couple other teams that are interested in him as well. It's going to be really interesting to see where he goes. Does he re-sign with the Bucks? Does he leave the Bucks in free agency? You guys let me know your thoughts. Where does Khris Middleton go? Where is the best fit for Khris Middleton in free agency? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.